you help.
It's a lot like having 250 people over to the house. You're nervous, you want them all to have a good time. That's very much like what we do every day of the week. We work very hard to make this unnatural environment in a television studio as comfortable as possible. And that's what we've done for 20 years.
I remember when the audience is... Really? No colicky? Do they sleep through the night?
Weekdays at 4 on KSBW 8.
Next on Our Magazine, she's a teenager with AIDS.
The person that I was in the relationship with turned out to be an IV drug user.
The number of teens exposed to the deadly virus has nearly doubled every year.
Young people are notorious for having a sense of immortality.
Teens infected with AIDS.
And it's not a false alarm.
On the next Our Magazine.
Tomorrow at 9 on KSBW 8.
And now, the conclusion of...
And no matter where it happened, KSBW Action News 8 is working hard to bring it to you, to bring home the news. We think we have the right idea about news, and that's why we're tuned into the Central Coast and the world, to bring you the news, to bring you the whole story, to help a busy world make just a little more sense. KSBW Action News 8. Every day, when it comes to your news, count on 8.
Does the man in your life have problems expressing his emotions? Is he afraid of being open, afraid of being vulnerable? What do you do when your husband or your boyfriend is cold, introverted, won't talk? On the next Oprah Winfrey Show, we're going to meet men who do have a fear of intimacy, who can't open up their hearts to women. Men who can't be intimate on the next Oprah Winfrey Show.
Today at 3 on KSBW 8.
Come home to the best. The Olympic Games on KSBW 8.
Julie Brown, and welcome to my version of Club Hour Magazine MTV style. We have quite a show for you today, so first off, let me introduce the favorite man of every hour, our host, Gary Collins.
I'm in a time warp. This is an Hour Magazine. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
Oh, you're very welcome. It's been a long time coming. One of the things that you're known for, you naughty girl, one of the things that you're known for, obviously, are your fashions.
Yeah,
We're going to make use of that today, right?
Right, that's what we're going to do. We're going to put you in sequins and little top, well, not the skirt, probably.
All right. So we're going to have a little fashion business
we
now?
We certainly are. We're going to have some models come up and see the latest in their goodies.
Come on up, kids.
So let me give you some room. This is Arlie. New York City's boy run the city stars has made that king of club credit dressing. Here he shows off his neon color palette for fall with a drop-dead Dago full-length coat over a velvet short dress with chenille appliques that look like mini tarantulas, really. Okay, the Skull and Cross necklace, by the way, is from Stephen Sprouse, and the collection will be premiering this fall. Okay, we have a guy, a model dude.
Whoa.
Yes, this is Tony. Stephen Sprouse mixes contemporary graffiti street art with a classic Roman fresco on a lighter biker top. Okay, it makes you feel such a man, Gary. We paired it with black overdyed five-pocket jeans by Smith, which are just like regular stuff. Okay, this is Tracy. A purple people pleaser, that's what we like to call it. If you're caught in a time warp, Gary, and just can't take the 60s, you're in luck, because you're back in fashion. This sleek wool jersey tank dress with drop-front pockets is the coolest thing since the return of Nancy Sinatra. That sells for about $170.
Well, this is wonderful. Now, we'll go ahead and start our show, and we'll be right back with Julie Brown and a lot more on today's edition of Our Magazine. I'm here with woman of the hour, Julie Brown, and that fashion show at the top of the program was indeed something. Let's talk about fashion for a moment.
All right,
Where do you
then.
get your ideas?
Where do I get
for
my
these
ideas?
outfits, these
I think
costumes?
it's quite wonderful to make them up as you go along. I don't think fashion has to be like such a trendy thing, like you have to wear like all black to be fashionable or anything like that. I think you just add your own little bits of personality, which makes it more fashionable than what the designer does. I mean, basic idea for a designer anyway is to come up with something. You wear it and then add a little bit of yourself to it.
Yeah, but you have such impact. You and some of the stars that we see on MTV, you walk out in an outfit, and I mean, if
I
it
do.
takes...
I go shopping to the A&P store like this.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Honestly? What do they do?
What do they do? Oh, then I may get a discount or something.
I don't think we should pursue that. Everyone I talked to thought that you had begun your career as a dancer, and yet I was reading that you had not. It's just
No,
you
I
move
didn't.
extremely well.
I didn't. I sort of fell into dance and I entered this competition long time ago, 1979, and it was when John Travolta and all that, those disco things were out, and it was a solo disco dancing championships. It was the world championships, and I just entered, and I ended up winning. And then I got booked for a show to dance, and I'd never done any like choreography steps or anything, so it was quite funny to sort of learn how to become a dancer after becoming the world disco dancing champion.
We often talk about people who go from in front of the camera, back of the camera. You, in a sense, went from in front of television to behind television. You were working, what, for Sony?
Oh, yeah, I was working for Sony TV, so I've always been in the business, I could say. I used to be putting, like, those TVs together, and I entered the World Disco Dancing Championships, and I needed a couple of days off to do it, and they wouldn't give it to me. They said, well, you know, I said, I'm not going to win it, just let me have a couple of days off. And they said, well, we can't give you those days off, so, of course, I took them. And they fired me, and my prize was £1,000 worth of Sony hi-fi equipment. And they just fired me. Yes, that's hilarious.
Is that funny?
No,
Okay.
that is funny.
All right, I'm trying to get the drift here.
I got a good joke.
Have you got a good joke? What is it?
No, I can't tell you.
Oh, come on, tell me.
No, really, no, I can't.
Why, if you're a big bleep, you know we can't tell it.
No, I can't bleep.
You tell it has a lot of bleeps in
Bleep,
it?
yeah, a couple.
All right. How can you be here for 2 years and wind up with this extraordinary job? I mean, it's a job that anybody and everybody would like.
MTV, yeah, I think it's something, a very big American thing,
You
isn't
bet
it?
it is.
In England, sort of cable TV isn't that widespread, but here,
Yes,
you know,
big business.
you've got a lot of channels. You've got your choice on what you want to watch here, which is great. I think MTV is, for me, why it worked for me so well, is because basically I can do what I want. You know, I can go and wear what I want. I can say what I want. I'm not a critic.
Is that what attracted you to them or them to you?
And they saw me. I used to do a cable show back in England, and they saw when I sent probably, you know, Happy Christmas from us all here in England, and they saw this fuzzy little thing at the bottom. I think they thought I was blonde, actually, when they first got the video, because it was copied so many times. And then they finally flew me over and asked if I'd, you know, audition. So I auditioned, and I got the job
Rest is
that day.
history. One of the things you said that it's different working in England and working here. In England, once you get a program, I mean, you're set. Here it's a little different. You got to be worried about a lot of things. Ratings, pressure.
I guess so. It's a lot of pressure. The thing, I guess, with music video is that it's always going to be there. You know, so that's one of the good things. And being a VJ isn't like, you're not sitting there. It's not like a radio DJ. In fact, they do a lot more than people think they do. By going out and doing live stuff and have to, like, perform in front of a lot of people. I think it's sort of like an all-round entertainment thing. I mean, to be able to interview people, like dress, talk about fashion, you know, sort of like cooking, the latest things that are going on around the world. Also, you get to talk about politics and some serious sides of stuff. And so you become not just like in a one-vein kind of person. Like, you're not just this big music head girl. You know, like, oh, ask her about Grateful Dead, she'll know everything, because I know nothing about the Grateful Dead.
Who is your favorite group?
They're still alive.
Huh? I mean, who do you like?
Who do I like?
Yeah.
I like...
The Grateful Dead is still alive and they're doing quite well.
Yes, I know. No,
Which is
very
very
well. Gosh,
interesting.
they came back and did some wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Who's one of your favorite groups? Give me an idea.
I think I personally, I like things that are emotionally stimulating.
Like?
You didn't think I had that in me, did you? I like stuff like, you know, Michael Jackson's, you know, Man in the Mirror, which I think is great for a great cause. I like things with a message. And I'm an all-round sort of like bright person. I like fun videos like, I don't know, Pebbles or Breakfast Club or a fun band.
What do you do in your spare time?
My spare time?
Yeah, what do you like to do?
I probably put clothes on.
You shop a lot?
I do shop a lot. I like to go shopping for clothes. I don't actually go shopping for clothes. I just wait for things to jump out and get me.
I do that way.
Yeah, you do.
I buy one suit a year that way.
You look fit, actually. You're the first person I've ever been on a show that sort of like the tie actually goes with something.
Oh, that the tie actually goes with it?
Yeah.
Listen.
I mean, have you ever been on those shows where people come on and you go,
I know, but that seems to be the thing today.
it's the truth. Have you ever seen anybody out there and you go, my God, how can you wear that tie with that?
Look at GQ in the magazines and you swear that nothing goes with anything,
Isn't
and yet
it funny
everybody
about
says
those models, GQ models?
Yeah.
I mean, you get to GQ when you're like, you know, one of the top models. I mean, you start off in the business as a model and you're like, you know, like this, and then you get to GQ and you've got to look pissed off, you know?
That's true.
You know, it's true. You've got to go like, I'm mad now, I'm a star, you know? It's quite funny. It always tickles me to death.
Our star and woman of the hour today, Julie
Sorry,
Brown.
did I swear?
And we have not yet told you what's coming up on the rest of the show, so we will now. We're going to meet Knots Landing star Tanya Crow. We'll continue our series on making marriage work as we examine the crises that can make or break a couple. And Julie, I want you to take a look at this.
Okay. For you, Gary, the world.
Did you know there was another Julie Brown?
Where is she? I'll kill her.
Oh, she'll be here. She'll be here later on in today's show. And when we return right after these messages, a frank discussion about AIDS and teens, so stay with us.
Enjoy extra sugar-free gum.
Come on.
Extra refreshing flavor that keeps coming through. Extra sugar-free gum lasts an extra long time for you.
Sugar-free Extra is unsurpassed in fighting cavities. That's right, unsurpassed in fighting cavities. And Extra has NutraSweet.
Extra refreshing flavor that keeps coming through. Extra sugar-free gum lasts an extra long time for you.
Extra helps fight cavities and lasts extra long.
Today, thousands of people are affected by AIDS, many of them Latinos. We all need to learn how to protect ourselves. Call the AIDS Spanish language hotline. It's at your fingertips. Talk in Spanish or English to another Latino, anonymously, at no charge, con confianza.
Línea abierta en español, SIDA AIDS. ¿En qué puedo ayudarle?
Yo, mire, ando preocupado por esto del SIDA. ¿Podría usted decirme si...
¿Y qué
If you
quisiera
think you've
saber?
been exposed to the virus, or if you have any questions, call us. There are specific steps you can take to avoid infection. Learn about them. Now information means life. The AIDS Spanish language hotline, 800-367-2437. Call us. Con confianza. Entre hermanos. 800-367-2437. The service of the San Francisco AIDS Foundation in cooperation with the American Red Cross and Pacific Telesis Foundation.
It's a lot like having 250 people over to the house. You're nervous, you want them all to have a good time. That's very much like what we do every day of the week. We work very hard to make this unnatural environment in a television studio as comfortable as possible. And that's what we've done for 20 years.
When the audience is... Really? No colicky? Do they sleep through the night?
Weekdays at 4 on KSBW 8.
Although teens make up only 2% of the AIDS epidemic, the figure is very misleading. The next age group, the 21 through 29 age group, accounts for 21% of those affected, and this is the important part. Most of them were teenagers when they contracted the disease. Heather is now 24. Last year, she discovered she had ARC, that's AIDS-related complex, and she traces this back to a relationship she had while she was still in high school. She is here along with AIDS researcher Dr. Janet Lever. Dr. Lever is a consultant at the Rand UCLA Center for Health Policy Study. Heather, how do you know and how can you trace this back to one specific person that you were dating in high school?
Well, the person that I was in the relationship with turned out to be an IV drug user, which I wasn't aware of during the time of the relationship. And the one thing that was a big clue was in '81 when the virus was just getting recognition. He went into the hospital for a lymph node biopsy. And I remember when he checked in, the doctors asked him if he was a homosexual. And that always stuck with me. You know, I always thought that was really strange. And he came out, it was very mysterious. They thought maybe he had Hodgkin's disease. And I remember it had something to do with his blood count. And then a few years later, it turned out that I had to go into the hospital for the same thing, a lymph node biopsy, because my lymph nodes were also enlarged. But I didn't think anything of it at that time because I knew there's a lot of different things that can cause swollen lymph nodes.
Yeah, well, obviously the doctors were puzzled as well in those days because they diagnosed you as having a lymph node infection. You went on, what, to Epstein-Barr, but nobody really pinpointed a diagnosis. Janet, I'll tell you, if there was ever a reason for youngsters to get AIDS education, we have a youngster sitting here with us today. Tell me something. First of all, explain ARC, age-related complex, and then tell us a little bit about the relationship, the relationship between teens today and how they are viewing this and why they look at someone, they say he looks perfectly healthy or she looks perfectly healthy, but that may not be the case.
Well, I am so grateful to Heather for her courage in coming here and for you in inviting her today, because what's really awesome is that all the surveys that are coming out now show it's not just education. Students today, whether they're in high school or in college, they know about AIDS, and they know exactly how AIDS is transmitted. They just don't think of it as their problem. The biggest danger in this disease is that it's an invisible killer. And most teens are losing their virginity at around age 16 or 17. The AIDS virus can take up to 5 to 10 years to incubate. In that period of time, people look very healthy to others, they feel healthy, and they go on to pass on this virus to others. And, you know, we may not recognize that until it's too late. Students today say, it's not my problem. My students at UCLA say, why should I change? I don't know anyone with AIDS. And thank goodness right now Heather has ARC, and you've asked what that is, and we would certainly hope in her case and others that it's a stage that will never progress to full AIDS. However, it needs to be said people die of ARC, and they never get included in the statistics of AIDS. So it's a very, very serious disease that they are hoping that treatment will maintain it. But right now there is no cure, and the best prevention, of course, is to avoid it, to assume that people may be carriers even if they look healthy.
But, you know, I think a lot of people have been going around thinking, okay, safe sex, okay, use a condom, and I really don't think that people are pushing the fact that that's not all there is to safe sex. I mean, I think this is a time when you really have to know someone and get to know someone. I don't think going to bed with someone with a condom on is going to stop you getting anything. I mean, obviously it's going to help prevent diseases, any disease, not just AIDS, any disease of any kind. But I think that people are...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I just don't think people are, like, pushing enough of, like, keeping that distance that, right now, sex isn't really okay, you know, until they find something.
But, you know, I don't know what you do with teens, with adults, for that matter. You can't you can't spend 7 years getting to know someone and then deciding to have a relationship with them.
I mean, for me, I suppose I'm a bit of a prude, darling. I started very late. I mean, my first boyfriend was when I was 20. And I'm in a business where I could probably get boyfriends when I was, like, you know, knee-high. I guess it's just all to do with your morals, too.
Heather, what's your advice to the teens out there and people in college?
Well, I think you have to really get to know somebody really well. You can't just have one-night stands anymore. It's not like that. It's a different time. And, you know, in a way, it's sad that, you know, we can't be as free as people were in the past and have the same kind of fun when we're young, but it's just a different world now. And there's good aspects, too. I think, you know, I think monogamy is, you know, with my boyfriend and I, it's a great thing, and I think that, you know, with all the AIDS scare, that it is helping relationships be monogamous.
How do you handle ARC with your boyfriend and his reaction to that? And I mean, how do you deal with the physical side of your relationship?
Well, he's really supportive of me, and you know, he knows that right now I'm healthier than I've ever been before because I took steps to become a healthier person when I found out. And I feel better than I've ever felt before. And it's true we both have fears about it progressing, but I don't think it has to progress, I think.
It must be a mental thing. It must sometimes drive you absolutely crazy in worry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a heavy thing to know that you've got this virus, especially with all the really depressing things you hear about it all the time. You never hear about the survivors, the long-term survivors. You just hear about people dying all the time.
And of course, but I think they've done that to try and get the message across that it's not just like a passing thing. I think the reason why they've done those ads where you're actually seeing people like near to death is to make people try and realize that it's a serious thing.
That's
you know,
true.
but I understand what you're saying, that they haven't really like lifted up on the survivors and the people that are doing fine with it and living normal lives.
Janet, what are the odds, so to speak, for Heather?
Well,
I mean,
they keep changing, you know. I mean, what we're watching...
to AIDS?
Well, right now, the odds aren't looking very good, and every year they revise those, but they're revising those based on men they've been following from San Francisco cohort studies since the AIDS virus really first appeared in New York City and in San Francisco. And a lot of those gay men really did have other diseases that had already compromised their immune system. I'm assuming that somebody like Heather didn't have this long history of diseases, and that her immune system is probably in much better shape, and with today's treatments, for someone who is outside those major risk categories, because IV drug users also have compromised immune systems. I would think the prognosis for someone like Heather is much, much better.
Janet, you said obviously the education is not working as far as it relates to AIDS
really
in teens. And if we have this 5, 6, 7 year lag time before it shows up in in an adult's 20s, what do we do? What more can we say to teens?
Well,
what more needs to be done?
Heather is here in part to scare people, and it's not a false alarm. You have to shake them out of their complacency. People don't know anybody with AIDS. It's very few minority. I even know students at UCLA who know somebody with AIDS and still don't think it's going to happen to them. You know, young people are notorious for having a sense of immortality, and we just have to shake their complacency. There was a study that scares the heck out of me that just came out of San Francisco, based on San Francisco high school teenagers. Now, this is a city that the AIDS cases are well known. There's great media campaigns. There's in-school education that is first rate. Again, the students do excellent on tests. They find out that 2% of these teenage girls use condoms all the time, and 8% of the teenage boys. And while you're right that condoms aren't a cure-all, you can't just give a message of abstain or just say no. That's right for some people, but the statistics show that it's only right for about 1 out of 5 people. About 20% of the women and men are willing to abstain. For the rest of them, we do have to get that second message across, that the Surgeon General and every other public health official continues to say that condoms are your single best protection if you are going to be sexually active.
Thank you, Janet Lever. Heather,
Right.
thank you very much. And you at home, if you have teens, talk to them. Tell them you saw Heather. And perhaps relay some of the information you heard from Janet Lever about the fact that it doesn't show up until they're adults. And you really don't know who you're spending time with. Thanks, both of you. Outstanding star Tanya Crow tells how she's keeping, or I should say helping, to educate teens. Next.
According to the Surgeon General's latest report, nicotine is as addictive as heroin or cocaine. But now government-sponsored research has produced a breakthrough that is proving to be up to 5 times more effective than other self-help stop-smoking methods. For more on this, here's Mr. E.G. Marshall.
I'm an ex-smoker, so I know just how tough it is to quit. Well, I've discovered a powerful way to kick the habit. It's a credit card-sized microcomputer called LifeSign. This patented breakthrough was developed with funding from the National Institute of Drug Abuse and scientific research conducted at the American Health Foundation and Johns Hopkins University has proven it effective.
It works better than any self-help approach that we've ever evaluated.
See, this is how it works. For the first 7 days, you record your habit by hitting this button whenever you light up. Then LifeSign gradually paces you down to 0, and it's all over. You stopped smoking. It's that simple.
It's so hard to quit, and this was very
Easy.
Anyone that says, hey, how did it work, and what do you think about it? I say, you should try this, it works.
It worked for me, and I think it'll work for other people. No other method that I tried ever did work for me.
With this product, I really stopped smoking. I mean, I truly do not smoke anymore.
The makers of LifeSign are so confident that it will work for you, they're offering a 60-day, no-questions-asked, money-back guarantee. Doesn't it make sense to give yourself a chance with a product that really works? Make a difference to yourself and those you care about, and pick up the phone now. If you order now, you'll save $10 off the regular price. Credit card customers can pay in 3 easy installments of only $24.98. And remember, with LifeSign's unique 60-day money-back guarantee, you have absolutely nothing to lose. So call the toll-free number on your screen now.
Yeah, sometimes you get people that have got a...
Talking about mail that Julie receives.
Yeah, sort of like a couple of problems. They've got problems with their mums and dads. Or
Yeah, and they
something,
write to you about it.
Yeah, you know, about the clothes they're wearing, or they want to go out and do this and stuff. But
Well, we have a youngster on next. And if you're a primetime soap fan, chances are you follow the goings-on of my next guest, who plays Donna Mills' daughter,
she's so good.
Olivia Cunningham on Knots Landing. Watch.
Not over. You can't leave?
Mary said, got to go.
Stay here. You can get another job.
I can't. You heard what he said.
Your uncle doesn't even care. It's my mother who's making him do this. I'll talk to her. No. I can get her to change her mind.
No. If your mother talks to my uncle, I'm a dead man.
If you leave, I might as well be dead.
I gotta go.
Welcome, Tanya Crow. How are you?
Good.
I understand you're middle of shooting right now. What is it, an afternoon
An after-school special, yeah. I just
yeah.
finished on Friday.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
It was
Great. Well, that's what you need then, a cup of water, because that's what they're giving us.
Oh, good, yeah.
Was this the one with Jill Eikenberry and Michael Tucker from LA Law?
Yeah, and Rhea Perlman plays my aunt. And
What's the subject matter?
It's a death of a sister. It's called Losing a Sister, and I play the lead, whose older sister has died, and it's just how the family copes with it, how each individual person...
You play a lot of those sort of like trouble stories.
Trouble, I know.
People. Is it something that, you know, that you enjoy doing? You don't mind being like a typecast, so like always doing roles where you've got to get people like bottom lips going, you know?
What lips going?
The bottom lips.
Oh, the bottom lips
Crying.
going, yeah.
It's just a drama, and it's emotional, and that's what I'm working on right now. This is a little lighter than Olivia. Olivia's very much into cocaine, and, you know,
Yeah.
I mean, now she's over
She's
it.
a problem,
Yeah,
right?
she's very
Yeah.
problem. And this girl, she has a head on her shoulders, and she's the one that keeps the family together. So, in fact, it's kind of different from Olivia. It's kind of moving, and she's
Yeah, this
uplifting.
past
and-
season you did a show dealing with teen suicide.
Yeah.
Did they ask you for your input? And did you know anyone, possibly in school, that you might have drawn from?
As far as input, no. They pretty
Uh-huh.
much write their storylines the way they want them. But as far as teenage suicide, I have fortunately not really had a friend or someone close to my family, but I have had friends of friends who have tried it, and some have succeeded. So I've spoken to them and kind of gotten
You lecture.
where they come from. Yes.
Yeah, you go around to schools. What do you talk about?
Well, I'm with this group. It's called Young Artists United, and it's a group of young, you know, about 18 to, you know, their 20s and 30s. And we go to schools and we just talk about issues, social issues, whether it's like sexually transmitted diseases or just, you know, drugs, alcoholism, parents.
Do you open it up for Q&A?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
What's
it's
the
wonderful.
predominant theme of the questions, if you had to pick one?
It varies from school to school so drastically,
Really?
but a lot of it starts in the communication between the parents. It has a lot to do with they just can't talk to them, you know. But it's real neat because it's just the kids and us. All the administration leaves, so they don't feel like they have to worry about a reputation you know, in front of teachers or whatever, so it's real free. So
Yeah. When did you start? At 6 years of age?
Yeah, 6 years.
Did you know what you were doing at 6?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Is it
At
what you
5
wanted?
years old. Oh,
At
yeah.
5 you
5 years
wanted
old, I
it?
went to my
Do
mom.
you remember when you were 5 you wanted to do something?
I'm with you in that.
I wanted to be a
no,
truck
I don't want to
driver.
remember what I was like when I was 5 years old.
Yeah.
I think I actually had a lot of people asking me what I was like when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, probably like this. And I called my mother. I said, come on, Mum, you got to tell me what I was like, because I knew my sister used to cry all the time. She's like my mum's favorite.
I was always a kid.
So
Yeah.
I know my mother just said I used to dress up all the time. I was quite happy playing with like little things, and I always had little boyfriends.
Yeah.
So that probably made me happy.
Well, let's see. We got a cliffhanger, and we know that Valine is, I guess, deep sixth, but there's talk about her coming back. But
Yeah,
you're coming
I don't
back,
know.
right?
I'm definitely coming back.
Well, that's
Oh,
great.
you do know. Do you know anything?
Oh, they all
We
know
don't,
this.
because
You
the
don't?
writer, well, see, we quit right before, no, we don't. See, right before the
Keep
writer's
trying to
strike,
get these
so
folks to tell me these secrets, and they won't.
we don't know, honestly,
Okay.
because the writer's strike, no one's written one script.
Well, we'll just have to watch, won't we? And we'll have to watch Tanya Crow next season on Knots
Great.
Landing. Thanks very much, Tanya,
you.
for being with us. When we return, we'll continue our series on making marriage work as we look at the most common crises in marriage and how to resolve them.
Here are some used cars and used trucks that are flat worth the money. Look, an 84 Buick Skylark, $24.95, $69 a month. An 84 Mercury Marquis wagon, $34.95, $79 a month. 86 Chevy Celebrity, $49.95, $94 a month. An 85 Isuzu pickup, $34.95, $79 a month. An 84 Ford pickup, $49.95, $94 a month. We got a jillion cars and trucks, bargain prices. Hey, come see us. Worthington Chevrolet in Cupertino. We're on Stevens Creek, open till 11.
Got a legal problem? Call Padway and Padway.
A drunk ran a red light. The guy's car with the green was knocked 78 feet. He was pinned beneath the dash. Took him an hour to get him out of there. If you were the victim of an accident, who would you call for legal help?
Call Padway and Padway. We'll fight for you to make the guilty party pay for your pain and suffering.
The law says you can only wait so long, so act now.
When the injuries are serious, call Padway and Padway at 971-0100.
I'll never forget the day we discovered Diane had a developmental disability. I felt so frustrated and helpless. None of our friends really understood what we were going through. But when I called the San Andreas Regional Center, I began feeling better. I had found people who cared and who could help me find the right programs for my daughter. You know, it's the best call I ever made in my life.
The San Andreas Regional Center for the Developmentally Disabled.
Hi, I'm Claire DeRay. I'm the director of a California boating organization. Whether you're in a powerboat, sailboat, or in a canoe, it's always important to wear a life jacket. 85% of California boating fatalities could have been prevented if the persons had been wearing life jackets. So wear a life jacket. It's your friend for life.
Coming up at 11:30, how to manage stress.
The dependable Maytag washer and dryer you've always wanted. Choose side by side or stacked upright. Same size, same long-lasting Maytag dependability. The statistics are disturbing. This year, 1 in 2 marriages will end in divorce. Many of the causes for divorce stem from crisis points that many couples simply cannot survive. Today, Dr. Bonnie Maston, co-author of Not Quite Paradise, Making Marriage Work, continues our marital checkup with a close look at the crises most likely to break a couple. And what are those crisis points, Bonnie?
All right, a real hard one to take is infidelity. I think it's very important to understand that the phrase casual sex really doesn't exist, that there is always someone in a relationship who is hurt by the other partner who goes astray. However, very important, a relationship, Gary, doesn't have to self-destruct with infidelity, as long as two people try and understand what the meaning is.
Yeah, what do you tell the people that you counsel?
Well, I think what I tell them is to try and understand what the meaning of infidelity was in this relationship. For example, Alice and Bob found out that Bob, who went astray, was a man who was insecure of his own masculinity and needed to have another woman and yet another woman in his life, almost as if to
prove that he was really okay. When they began to understand that and talk about that and get over the hurt, then the couple could move on.
All right, another crisis point.
Another crisis point, blended families. It's a new world out there, and 85% of us who do get divorced, and that's still up in the 1 in 2 of us who do get divorced, come together and remarry often, very often, bringing children and, remember, ex-wives and ex-husbands into that relationship. Most important thing, probably, for a new person in that relationship with children, don't take it personally. Kids in blended families have a lot of baggage they drag into relationships. And if you start getting at loggerheads with your spouse and taking it personally, it's going to be a crisis you can't get over. Distance yourself from it, and I think you can get through even that kind of crisis.
For one more crisis point.
All right, money, finances, 2 career families. It's really hard these days. And as one couple said to me, God, what we both need is a wife. I think one of the things that you need to do, isn't it impossible? Yes. In fact, you can get rent-a-yenza now, a kind of rentable wife, right? All right, I think what you need to do is really to sit down and talk things through. Really, maybe spend that weekend deciding who's going to do what and what's going to do who, so that when you come time to take out the garbage, there's somebody there to do it and there's not a lot of aggravation. I think that kind of stress is really something that needs a lot of good, direct talking and plans. That's what you need to make it through that kind of crisis.
All right. Tomorrow, Bonnie's going to conclude our marital checkup series by helping you determine if your marriage can survive a crisis, and let's hope it can. Thanks, Bonnie, very much for being with us. We'll be right back.
Okay, let's take a look at one more hot evening fashion, shall we? Yeah, shimmy, shimmy, to the beat. If your partner can't keep up with the music, or yourself, then this dress is guaranteed to. It's like a nostalgic flapper dress. It's made in one of this year's hottest colors, which is lime by one of LA's youngest rising fashion designers. And his name is Paquito Albert, so check it out.
If you're a tennis fan, you won't want to miss the Racket Club Apparel Heart Marks Tennis Classic at the Hyatt Regency Monterey, July 21st through 24th. Yvonne Lendl, the #1 player in the world, will head a strong field, including Kevin Curran and Vijay Armitage. There'll be daily seating for 3,000 in the custom stadium, so don't miss out. Tickets are available at the Hyatt Tennis Pro Shop or call 372-1234. The Racket Club Apparel Tennis Classic, July 21st through 24th at the Hyatt Regency Monterey. Brought to you by KWAV and KSBW 8.
Funerals. They're a terrible thing for families to have to go through. Besides the sorrow of losing a loved one, there are the overwhelming details of arranging a funeral service. And then there's paying for everything. Funerals can cost thousands of dollars. Well, since 1936, the Purple Shield plan has protected millions of families just like yours from the worry, the confusion, and the cost of funerals. Purple Shield pays cash to your family at time of need.
I wouldn't have known what my father wanted or how to pay for it all without the Purple Shield plan.
There's a Purple Shield plan for everyone, even people like me on a fixed income.
My plan increases to protect against inflation, but my premium rate stays exactly the same.
You'll also receive this free hardcover planning guide where you record exactly what you want done at time of need to help your family when they need help the most.
Don't be caught without protection. For free information about the Purple Shield plan and the Purple Shield benefits, simply call the toll-free number shown on your screen. Protect your family. Call now.
I'm Carol. Call me now and I'll send you free information about the Purple Shield plan. There's absolutely no obligation. The information is free and so is the phone call. All you need to do is dial the number on your screen now.
When did it come to your attention that there is another Julie Brown?
Oh, Gary, it was a very traumatic experience for me, yeah. I mean, I think the first time I came aware of it, there was a write-up in the New York Times, and it had a picture of the other Julie Brown. I mean, it says, there's a white Julie Brown, and the one good thing about the regular MTV VJ Julie Brown is that she's black. And I was like, oh, I didn't know I was black, you know? I mean, my boyfriend, my whole life changed. So, I just want you all to know now that I love you and I'm
Well, there is a
black.
connection. Music fans know the other Julie Brown from her first hit, The Homecoming Queen's Got a Gun. And here's a moment from her new single called, are you ready? Girls Fight Tonight.
Okay, we're going to try and calm her down now. Please welcome the other Julie Brown.
Some of you may recognize Julie as, what was it? As Buffy Deaver on the Newhart Show.
Denver,
What a girl.
Buffy
Denver.
on the
All right,
Newhart
well,
Show.
so one letter I missed. You're what, third generation Californian?
Third generation Valley.
Valley.
Which is more incredible.
And what we saw, Girls Fight Tonight, that's kind of spoof on the Valley and the
It
girls.
kind of
isn't
is. It really happened to me, though. In high school, there was this blonde cheerleader.
Oh, God, and we hate blondes, don't we?
Don't we?
God, nightmare. Nightmare.
And she was going after my boyfriend, and I couldn't take it anymore, so we had a girl fight in the middle of the quad. And it was such an experience that I knew I had to write a song about it. So that's what that song is about.
Now, tell me a little bit about the movie, Earth Girls Are Easy. It's the greatest title I've heard. I mean,
From a Valley girl.
Your mind just goes crazy with this.
Well, it's a movie that I co-wrote with Charlie Coffey and Terrence E. McNally, and it's about aliens crash land in the valley, and the aliens are covered with hair, right? So,
sounds familiar.
That's where I come from. Covered with hair. And I play this hairdresser, and the valley girl that they land in her pool is Gina Davis, and she brings the aliens to the beauty parlor, and I shave them, and then they look like cute guys.
And Dino De Laurentiis went for this.
They went for it.
I love
They
it.
made the film. It's going to come out later this year.
Gosh.
It's very exciting.
Funny
It's very
stuff.
exciting.
Well, there's a change. There's new blood, new ideas, and everything in the movie industry. When did you first become aware of the other Julie Brown?
Well, it was traumatic for me, too. My friends called me up and said, oh, we hear you're a VJ.
I know, and the thing that people said to me, I heard your song on the radio.
Your lipstick.
I have? Is it your color?
No, it's not my color.
It's
Right,
mine. So my friend said, we
You
hear
did
you're
it
a
on
VJ.
purpose,
I
Julie.
did. You just wanted me to look stupid. So I had to say I'm not a VJ, and then I realized that there was this other Julie Brown.
But
and
you've been a VJ, which was quite fun.
By then I had,
Really?
when I first heard that, I had never done it.
Right.
So then they had
So
this...
I did you a big favor.
You did. You did. You helped me.
I gave you another
How
job.
so? Well, you
Well, the thing is, when
hosted,
she was
I
taking
went
a
away.
vacation, and so they decided that I should replace her and act like it was Julie Brown in costume or something like that. I don't know what they were thinking, but I
you know,
replaced her for a week, and then I started doing some VJ things.
Well, you locked me in the bathroom, I think.
That's
for
right.
about
I
2
forgot
hours.
about that. I locked her in the bathroom
She
and
came
went
down
on.
the studio, and I was doing my bit, and she was like, come here, you know. And so the camera crew was following us. And we went to the bathroom, and she, like, shoved us in and locked us
the
in.
door?
It chained it, and they keep cutting back to her.
All right, aside from a commonality as far as your name's concerned, anything
Yeah.
else in common?
No,
Huh?
not a thing.
No, she's older.
She's older. You're
That's
like
not true.
You're like a lot older.
No,
right?
I'm not. When you came down to the studio, remember when you called me that name? I never got a chance to tell you how I really felt about you.
Which is what?
Which is, you know, you're a bimbo.
I think you're cute.
Valuable information for anybody who wants to get pregnant.
Use used Honda sale this weekend at Gavilan Honda Gilroy. Pick from 20 previously owned Hondas. Save on 84, 85, 86, 87, and 88 Hondas. This weekend at Gavilan Honda Gilroy.
Accidents cause a lot more than injuries and suffering. Accidents create a mass of forms, reports, and expense.
If you've been involved in an accident, your first concern is recovery. Lawsuits and lawyers should be the last things on your mind.
I'm Michelle Kennedy.
I'm Jim Spearing.
At Spearing, Swartz, and Kennedy, we personally look out for your interests.
We're here to recover for you.
The law firm of Spearing, Swartz, and Kennedy. No fee without recovery.
Dennis Lennon talks about his short career as a rodeo star.
Yeah, I rode this foal as a promotion for the rodeo. I cracked my ribs, but I was challenged to do it. I was a little less cautious then, and I said, heck, I'll give it a try. I was supposed to be this big old tired bull. Well, he was tired and he was big, but I'll tell you, for 83 seconds, he beat me up. I really hit the dust on that one.
Sports with Dennis Lennon. Count on KSBW Action News 8. 12,000 athletes are currently preparing their bodies for the 6-mile wharf-to-wharf race, and KSBW's own Dennis Lennon is one of them.
And this is only walking. What happens when I have to jog? Much less run, huh?
The race starts at 8:30 Sunday morning, July 24th, near the Santa Cruz Wharf and finishes in Capitola. Registration is closed, so come on out and cheer on your favorites and Dennis Lennon. And don't miss our highlight show at 6:30 p.m. and midnight the night of the race. The 1988 Wharf to Wharf, only on KSBW 8.
Each year at summer camps, thousands of disadvantaged young people are offered a chance to learn, a chance to succeed. It's often their first chance to reach the top, and they learn it's not their last chance to try. The Salvation Army, believing in youth.
If you're pregnant or thinking about becoming pregnant someday, then listen closely. With us today is Gail Sforza Brewer, one of America's leading experts in pregnancy and childbirth, and author of the very important pregnancy program. She's here with us today to tell us how pregnant women can avoid being put in a high-risk category. And I'd like to add that Gail is mother of 6 herself, and if my reports are correct, she's not stopping there. 4.5 years ago, you sat here, you had 4 children.
That's right.
Now you have 6. And may I ask, and I don't mean this to be rude or personal, but it's important for the purposes of discussion, you're past 40.
Yes, 43.
And you are still going to have children.
Well, Gary, if there's an appropriate man in my life, yes.
No, that's not what I mean, but most people are just...
would they...
40 is the cutoff. Even
Right.
before 40 is the cutoff.
I know, women are terribly concerned about this, but my philosophy is that if you're capable of becoming pregnant and you want the baby, I don't see any physiological reason why women shouldn't.
But then
go
why
for
do
it.
we have this concern? Why do we have this fear that anything
Well-
close or after 40 is very dangerous?
I think that the fear about pregnancy after 30 or 40 has been generalized to the point where there's just fear of pregnancy in general. I think women have a tremendous anxiety about being pregnant that's happened primarily in the last 5 years due to increasing amounts of testing being done during pregnancy, which has turned those prenatal visits, which used to be rather a comforting visit with your doctor once a month, to a series of anxiety-producing hurdles that one must go over in order to stay in a low-risk category.
You stress nutrition in the book.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Why is nutrition so important?
Well, nutrition is the key to all the physiologic changes that have to happen to support a pregnancy, whether you're 12 or you're 50, it doesn't matter. The key thing is that during pregnancy, your blood volume, that's the amount of blood that's actually circulating in your body, has to go up 50 to 60%. And the only way that that can happen is if your diet is adequate to meet it. The reason that you need all that extra blood is because the placenta, which is this brand new organ which wasn't there before prior to pregnancy, is a tremendous blood supply needer, and it has to be fed on a continuous basis. Therefore, most women are going to have to eat more and better food during the course of their pregnancy, and that nutritional stress increases as the pregnancy advances to term. This is a little different than we used to think about it, when we used to say, well, the baby's essentially fully formed at the end of the first 3 months, so what can I possibly do?
Everybody's so concerned, it seems odd, but concerned about their figure and the weight they're going to gain. But you're saying don't be so concerned with that
Exactly.
as you should be with your nutrition. What about supplements?
Well, supplements are, if you need supplements, take them.
All right. Now, let's go through a couple of the areas because at the end of each chapter you have a section called Getting the Answers, and you talk about the high risk. One is a glucose tolerance test for diabetes. Now,
this is a routine test now in prenatal care at 20 to 24 weeks. Almost every obstetrician is asking his patients or patients to take this test. The problem is that the test that's being asked of most women to take is a 3-hour glucose tolerance test, which involves fasting overnight, coming in, taking the fasting blood sugar out of the arm, then giving the mother a very sugary drink to take, and then testing the reaction, the body's reaction to that. A lot of times, women are not properly advised that they need to carbohydrate load for 3 days ahead of time prior to the test. So when they come in and take the test, and this is true for anybody who's ever taking glucose tolerance test, in pregnancy, if you don't carbohydrate load for 3 days ahead of time and you come in and take this, overnight, the placenta, just as we said before, has been taking glucose continuously out of the mother's bloodstream. So she's going to have an abnormally low blood sugar to begin with. She will take the slug of cola or whatever it is, and then we'll have a mimetic diabetic response. In other words, she will test out as though she has diabetes just because she has no reserve to deal with this sudden shock of glucose into her system.
all right, now do physicians tell their patients?
Unfortunately,
About the carbohydrate
many of them
loading?
do not, and therefore women come in and have the test done and then are labeled gestationally diabetic, gestational diabetes, and then treated with an incredibly intensive pregnancy surveillance regimen, which essentially involves coming in every 2 weeks, having routine ultrasounds. There's a tremendous amount of concern about the welfare of the baby of people who have severe uncontrolled diabetes. And this is what's happened in so many of these testing situations. Things which are absolutely true for people who have serious uncontrolled diabetes, the concerns for that population are now being extended to everyone. And therefore, although even just 1% of the population in pregnancy is truly diabetic, we now have 100% of people being screened and tested.
All right, so one should ask their physician about this carbohydrate loading
or the
take the
alternative
test
is
again.
to take a simpler test, which is simply a finger stick in the end of your finger 2 hours after you've eaten a normal meal. That's a much more accurate test of your whole response to your food.
Blood pressure rise in pregnancy.
This is another thing where we've had a recent redefinition of what constitutes high blood pressure. It used to be that we would take the internist definition of 160 over 110 on 2 separate occasions, 6 months apart, to decide whether somebody had hypertension or not. Now you see everywhere in America people walking into shopping malls and having their blood pressure taken on machines. You don't know if the machine's properly calibrated.
You shouldn't
know,
fool with those
all
machines,
of those
should you?
situations. No, and also, just last month in the New England Journal of Medicine, there was a very important article that was published from Cornell University Medical Center in New York, which said that large numbers of people, and women in particular, suffer from what the author calls white coat hypertension, which means they only test hypertensive in the doctor's office. Right, and this is not, women have told me this. I mean, I've worked with several thousands of women who have told me that they only feel uptight and anxious in the office, and then when they're at home, their pressures are perfectly normal.
All right, what about toxemia, finally?
Okay, that's related to this blood pressure problem. If a mother's blood pressure is perceived to have been elevated on a couple of visits, she'll be labeled with pregnancy-induced hypertension, which is another term for toxemia of pregnancy. Again, she will be routed into a very high-risk protocol management and will probably wind up with a
What should she
cesarean.
do if that is the case?
She needs, first of all, to insist on having her blood pressure monitored at home when she's in a normal state and not anxious about the visit. That can be done by having anybody who knows how to take blood pressure come in while she's at home and take it. And most of the cases of pregnancy-induced hypertension go away under those circumstances.
All right, Gail, nice to see you again.
Yes, nice to be here.
And you're not pregnant now, are you?
No.
Okay. Would you call us? I want to stay in touch with this.
I'm not going to put it on television again.
No, there's enough in the book already. Thank you, our guest, Gail Brewer. We'll be right back.
If you just wash with soap and water, you're missing a whole other level of clean. Cooling, tingling sea breeze clean. Clean so deep, you feel it. And Sea Breeze removes oil, dirt, and makeup that soap leaves behind. And when your skin is this clean, you won't be the only one to feel it. Sea Breeze, no other clean feels quite like this.
Take a lump from head of lettuce,
A plain old onion with no appeal. Bring 'em in and make 'em sing that country music.
With Rancher's Choice dressing from Kraft.
Come on and make your salad sing.
Only Kraft mixes together real buttermilk, real mayonnaise, and real sour cream to make Rancher's Choice.
Real country, Kraft makes salad sing. Real country.
The crystal is by Lalique. The silver is by George Jensen. And the gourmet cat food is by Fancy Feast. Fancy Feast. A good taste is easy to recognize.
Wrong number. Now I'll never get back to sleep.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
Nitol helps you feel drowsy so you can get your Z's.
Nitol will help you get your Z's.
What you doing? Oh, nothing. Oh. What's this say? It says, my mommy likes me to eat cakes. Oh, is it good? No. No? It's excellent. You know, my mom likes me to eat cakes, too.
Cakes, low in sugar, great taste. Ask your kids.
Take human bites.
We're talking Breakfast Club here. I'm back with Woman of the Hour, Julie. And I suppose we should make some mention of the fashions.
We should. They've all been put together by In Fashion magazine, which is like a really trendy magazine. I've been in it, by the way.
Have you?
Yeah.
Well, you're certainly trendy.
I want to be on the cover then, so.
All right.
Anyway.
Maybe this will get you the cover.
Certainly will. We've got another little fashion display for you coming on. We've got model Tracy. And do you know, it's the 85th anniversary this year of the Harley Davidson.
I didn't know
The
that.
biker fashion has been in fashion. It will never, never, never die. And here you have a sort of like Harley Davidson look from Betsy Johnson, which is my favorite designer, and I always wear Betsy Johnson clothes. We've got a studded top, a very sexy type studded top. The jacket with keys and stuff hanging onto it. Maybe the key to your heart there, Gary.
Don't come home late with that.
The jacket sells for about $155.
Okay.
So you've got the skirt, which is a mini skirt with zip accents, and it's about $110.
All right.
Which isn't bad because Betsy Johnson stuff does last forever. Okay, here we have Tony dancing to the beat. Oops, I think he fell over on the way in. Okay, if you want to calm down a bit, you've got something, if you don't want to wear something too bright, you've got this cranberry velvet motorcycle jacket that looks and feels like a poodle, though it's faux fur, which is poodle. And it sells for about $130 and goes with the sexy black cotton tank by Calvin Klein. Actually, the top is about $13 for Calvin Klein, which is very good.
Yeah.
And they're calling them 5-pocket jeans now. I mean, they're just regular jeans, and they go for about $30. And they're sold by Peter Goulding, and they're sold at Let It Rock, which is in LA. Okay, here we have Artie. Outwear plays a key role in After Hours looks this fall, and nothing says style better than a sweep and full-length coat. Very, very traditional, old-fashioned classic look. It's blood red rayon. It's a coat dress with a circle skirt bottom. And there you go, a sweetheart dress.
Right.
Something we really love by Eric Bosey.
All right, thank you very much, models, and thank you, fans, for the hand claps and everything. We've got to run before we're all asphyxiated here. I'd like to thank Julie Brown, and thanks to all my guests today. Thank you, Julie. Come back and see us. Thank you very much. Join us tomorrow, Halloween. That's enough with the smoke. The fashion thing is over. Join us tomorrow. Heloise will bring us some nifty uses for vinegar. We'll conclude our series on making marriage work, and we'll celebrate the silver anniversary of Weight Watchers with our Woman of the Hour, the founder of Weight Watchers, Jean Knighted. So until then, Gary Collins reminding you, do try to make every hour count. Have a nice day and evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Clean carpets and upholstery with the Bissell Power Steamer. The Power Steamer shoots warm cleaning solution. Powerful suction pulls out liquid and dirt. Cleans upholstery, too. Don't rent. Own your own Bissell Power Steam.
Who makes everything you wash soft enough to snuggle? Couldn't fool you. Only Snuggle gets your whole wash as soft as me.
Really chocolatey chocolate milk doesn't come from a chocolate cow. It comes from Hershey. The chocolate people.
New Bikini Bear Cream Bleach to lighten unwanted hair on face, legs, arms, and gentle new Bikini Bear Facial Depilatory. Shield Deodorant Soap. It keeps you feeling fresh and clean all day long. Feel fresh the whole day through with Shield. Now you can draw, color, doodle, and sketch with famous Mr. Doodler and Buffalo brand watercolor markers. By Drymark, backed by the Good Housekeeping Seal of Confidence.
Join the fun. Register now for the Monterey Area Baby Pageant. Call 899-7324. Boys and girls 1 month through 6 years are eligible. Call 899-7324.
When was the last time you truly enjoyed a glass of water? Spring water that was great tasting, cold, clean, healthy, and refreshing. Now the new Sierra Spring Water Company makes it easy for you to have great tasting spring water every day. Sierra has convenient free home delivery, so you'll never have to lug heavy water jugs home from the store again. Best of all, Sierra Spring Water always tastes right because it comes from a protected source, and it's tested daily to ensure the highest standards of purity. If you're worried about the water that your family drinks, or that they drink too many sweet soft drinks, call Sierra now. Sierra costs only pennies a day, and now new customers can take advantage of a special offer. 1 month free water cooler rental plus 2 free 5-gallon bottles of Sierra. To order, call 1-800-221-1100. That's 1-800-221-1100. Pure, convenient, great-tasting Sierra. In today's world, it's one less thing for you to worry about.
Action News 8 at midday. Weather with...